What do these people have in common? Heads of state, governors, captains and barons of industry. They are nation builders, committed to evolving a better Nigeria. Towards a Greater Nigeria with Omotayo Omotosho MFR is the TV program that brings them all together. Don't miss it on NTA Network and NTA International every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. A change towards a Greater Nigeria. Incisive and enlightened. Change is here. Don't miss it.
Still on Nigeria at 50, the program is not complete without speaking with one of our dynamic, indefatigable former heads of state. Retired but not tired, obviously. When you hear him talk, you'll get to know that he's obviously not tired. I'm talking of no other person other than General Buhari, GCFR. For a few minutes, we want him to share his reflections with us. As to remain your anchor, Omotayo Omotosho. You're welcome, General.
Thank you very much.
My very first questions are, in the last 50 years, as a former head of state, what are your reflections, especially during 1960, the independent era? A lot of us were not born then, and beyond. Can you share your experiences with us?
The First Republic started extremely well. They were very well groomed, mature politicians that really fought for it. Luckily, not like some other countries, but they went through the colonial master's training and good education, reasonably good infrastructure, good civil service, the structure that can sustain development. And we are lucky, in all the institutions, the civil institutions, the police, the military, the judiciary, and we are grateful to the British, I must say, because those of us who, having received initial training here, went to their institution, we found out they brought very good administrative officers, very good teachers, very good professionals, equal to those they left at home, managing their own infrastructure. And I think that's something positive. So we started very well. And I think the 15th January 1966 coup, I think, is actually what set us back. And I don't think we are yet to recover.
You're talking of the Civil War.
Well, there's a subsequent happening. After the January coup, then there's the July sort of counter coup, they call it. And then, of course, that led to the Civil War. And that's the death of at least 1 million Nigerians, not to talk of the destruction of the infrastructure virtually in the whole of the eastern states and the South. Having come out of that, we are lucky to have a leader then that has conscience, General Buhari.
Conscience, very key.
Exactly. He all those who participated in the series of coups, counter coups, the Civil War, for his 9 years leadership, it was really remarkable. And then, luckily for Nigeria, there was this oil boom immediately. A couple of years after ago, and there was money. And that money was judiciously used under General Buhari. Firstly, there were a series of feasibility studies of infrastructure. And really, the main infrastructure, all the studies were done during General Buhari's time with that money, which we got from, the first Gulf War of 1973. So we have ports, airports, teaching hospitals, polytechnics, roads, power installation, name it.
And they were all functioning.
Under General Buhari. The money earned was very well spent. If you make the risk of attempting to compare what we got during General Buhari and how we utilize it, and the subsequent windfalls we had, then you will feel very sorry for this country. Then the institutions, from the universities and the proliferation of tertiary institutions, and then the universities and so on. And now that is leading us to the quality of education we have, we can call it very good. And then you try to drive from my town, which is the northern fall of Nigeria, to Lagos, which is the southern fall.
Specify your town. I know it, but for those that don't know it.
Exactly. You try to drive, say, from my town, and then outside any town.
Where is your town, sir?
Daura.
For Nigerians to know that. I know it.
Yes, okay, okay. If you drive and then get out of the town, any town, from there to Lagos or to Port Harcourt, and go to the right or left from the highway, and get a family. A family that is, if you can get a person there that is 60 years old, if you ask him, would he rather be in the First Republic or now? He will tell you he would rather be in the First Republic. Because then the education that is available was quality education. And the son of a truck pusher and the son of a minister maybe go to the same school. Well, they went to the same school. And if he's bright enough, he could be a doctor, he could be an engineer, he could be any professional.
Regardless of his background.
Exactly. It's not possible now.
It is sad.
If you said the population has grown, what about the earning?
Very true.
And then security in those days. Even water. There is this, we call it Kwakwari, the wells are limited. They are deep, the water from there is safe and so on. But to look at the pumps, which of the pumps of water is working from Lagos to Daura again? People buy the water they will drink throughout this country now. And look at the money being earned. Listen to every Wednesdays after council meetings, the billions that is being made. That security was our traditional leadership throughout the country, from ward head, to the village head, to the district head, to the emir or Oba or Obi. There was a system of security. Very, very good security system. But nobody seems to be safe now in Nigeria. You get kidnapped, or your parents get kidnapped, or you are
even killed.
And killed. So it was virtually a steady deterioration from 1960 to now.
Steady deterioration.
Yes, look, as I said, we have gone through the social institution, the infrastructure, the security. So I'm sorry, my reflection is an agony of what has been happening to us as a people and as a nation.
You're not alone, sir.
Well,
you're not alone. Majority of Nigerians will tell you that it's an agony.
Yes.
How did we get to where we are, sir? What did we do wrong?
Well,
bad management.
What I have been saying, it is indiscipline and corruption. Unfortunately, from top to bottom. If the top is disciplined and so the corruption wouldn't be so pervasive. The system of accountability, say from local governments upwards, has virtually broken down. People who have public funds responsibility, they put the treasure into their pocket and do what they like.
Exactly.
In those days, there is a system of auditing every year, and whoever is keeping an impress or a public fund, he has to account for it every year, unfailingly. You see, so we have to go, I'm afraid we have to go back to those good old days for us to use the vast resources we are realizing now to provide the people with security, with social services, especially education, healthcare, drinking water, good roads, infrastructure. Because even the cost of food, if drivers cannot drive on rural roads to go and bring food to the urban areas, because if they go there, what they will get from the farmers to transport their food stuff for sale wouldn't pay for the repairs
Of the vehicle?
He wouldn't go.
No, he won't.
And that man cannot carry it on his head. So it is going to take a long time to repair the damage. Because it's much easier to destroy, and the destruction had gone on consistently for a generation, at least for 30 years. So it's going to take us a long time to get this country back. But the most serious one, as far as I'm concerned, is education. Because if you educate people, then there is a way people will manage themselves. But if you leave them in ignorance, then you leave them susceptible to all sorts of social ills, like using religion, using region, using tribe, to distract people's attention. But if they are educated, at least they will attempt to analyze and see the man, what he's telling me about my tribe, living with tribe A, B, is it true? He will know.
That's true.
But if he's not educated, then he's susceptible to all sorts of evil suggestions. That he keep on destabilizing the society.
So education is key.
Education is the first thing. Then of course health care. People must be healthy to be productive, and then inclusive even drinking water.
Yeah.
If you can't go to the tap and take water to drink without having typhoid, you are really going to get typhoid if you take water from virtually any tap in Nigeria. So people are reduced to buying even the basic water they will drink. Otherwise, they are sick people, and they can't be productive.
Today, we're talking of corruption and indiscipline. What's the magic wand? What did you use then, sir, that made it work? Nigerians obeyed without being beaten here and there.
No, I think Nigerians, I think all people, you can't take them for granted for too long. If people are intelligent and rebellious, let me put it that way. If you are supposed to lead them, there's a problem, more again, of education. They know what is their right as a people, as citizens. If you shortchange them, if they find out, you too will never enjoy whatever you either steal or whatever. And what we realized was that people became unproductive because of indiscipline.
Why? Now, what do they do for that lane? If everybody go drive, not be mad people, they drive for this road. Yes, everybody on this line, they are mad. Everybody on this line. And you are one of them.
If people have their jobs, if they behave themselves, they become much more productive. And then they voluntarily, really work very hard, become patriotic, and mind their own business, become much more competitive among themselves. Because if you work hard, it will pay. If you go to school in time, and you get the teachers arrive in time, and then the money for infrastructure, for equipment, and so on is properly done, and then there is inspectorate division that is made to go around and make reports, and those reports matter. And so Nigerians will be surprised as they were in 1984 and 85, how things will move, how things will work. And I was made to understand that at the time, the green passport became very respectful.
It was.
When you are from Nigeria, the immigration would say just pass on, because they believe for you, to earn the money, to travel by air, you must have worked hard and earned it.
If you've stolen, Buhari and Idiagma would have caught
you. You wouldn't have been around if you have stolen it.
Very true.
At least you will be waiting for trial, even if you are not formally jailed. So I think, and we are lucky, I would say I'm lucky. I happen to be the head of state, but then I have got a very effective number two, very loyal, very, very hardworking. And he too has track record of performance in the military. Sure. So really, the respect is there.
May his soul rest in peace.
I mean, Nigerians believe that the leadership then was serious by the way they acted and so on. And whoever must appropriate public funds knows clearly where he is going. There is no question of blue-eyed favorites or whatever. Whoever you are, in whichever institution you are, you must treat public property and funds, according to the law. If you go contrary to the law, then sanctions are heavily applied. Yes. Well, we are, when I say we, I mean my generation. We started from discussion of the colonial days, how the civil service was trained, how the military was trained, how workers, then everybody knows his, his responsibilities and being effectively supervised. This is very, very important. Supervision. Supervision is very important. Supervision by competent supervisors with good entry point, experienced, and committed. It costs the country relatively cheap, to run institutions. But then when people depend mainly on paper qualification, no matter how they acquire it, then you get in trouble, because the system of inspectors in the schools will make sure that teachers prepare their lessons, they deliver their lessons. The exams, whether it is semester or quarterly or monthly, records kept, inspectors testing them, coming and asking questions, and so quickly assesses and records how institutions are being managed or mismanaged, was clearly facts brought out. So really, this question of leadership, by example, is virtually forced, on the society through very, very good training and motivation by leadership of the time. Look at what happened, say, the casualties of January 15, 1966. Both those that were killed and those that survived. You go and check. After maybe the First Republic's economic development, say 5 years economic or so, and see how much money, relative to what the country can afford. See the infrastructure put in the north, see the infrastructure put in the east, see the infrastructure put in the west, with the earning then from groundnuts, hides and skin, farm oil, farm kernels. You don't talk of oil. See the solid infrastructure and how it was being managed. So this question of leadership, I think this is the terrible thing, is when people want to make money so quickly now, somebody maybe from youth service corps, he gets into a sitting room. He wouldn't remember that you have worked for 20 years, maybe to prepare that apartment or this house. He wants where he goes next. He wants in 18 months to prepare the house like that. So
in a hurry.
Exactly. Going nowhere, we were so much in a hurry, going backwards.
Exactly.
This is what is happening. So much in a hurry, going backwards. So I think we have to go back, to really sensitizing institutions. Make Nigerians productive by the leadership earning their respect. They will say, no, with Mr. So and so there, you can't steal and get away with it.
Exactly.
Maybe if he catches you, he will tell you, well, don't do it again. But if he catches you the second time, you are losing your security. And that's the biggest, warning one can get. So I think this question of leadership is still very, very fundamental. Unless we try and cultivate leadership at all levels, all the resources we are having, both human and material, will continue to be wasted as we have wasted it in the last 30 years.
This takes me to looking at the kind of civil service we have today. It breaks my heart.
Have they been trusted to do their job when they are trained? If you are, if in the ministry, okay, you say Ministry of Works, there is quantity surveyors, structural engineers, finance department and so on. Do you allow those trained at least to do the initial job? Let the one who is taking decision as a politician, as a minister, or the farm sector, do they allow these jobs to do their jobs up to them, and then they can take the decision? The problem is, I will give an example. I worked under General Obasanjo, as you know, in petroleum for 3.25 years after being governor in the Northeast. Yeah. Look at what was achieved in those 4 years, from the death of Murtala to the time Obasanjo handed over. We built 2 refineries, one in Wari, one in Kaduna. Over 3,300 line pipes were laid. More than 20 depots were made, were constructed. Look, if you go there, you wouldn't see a single white man. All trained Nigerians. You know, they manage them they manage them administratively. They do the professional one. The petrochemical started. In 3 years, these things were done. But look at the subsequent governments. We have additional 2 refineries in Port Harcourt, or 1 refinery of 100,000 barrels a day. Now we have 4 refineries, I know. Their capacity is about 500,000 barrels a day. But God knows since when we have been importing petroleum. All this infrastructure has been allowed to rot away.
Real rotting away.
All this investment. So the roads are being ruined by tankers of 30,000 liters a day, going from maybe Ilorin to Kano, or from Kaduna to Maiduguri and so on. When the epileptic service, of the refineries are available. 4 refineries, about 25 depots now. Subsequently, under Jibril Aminu, 2 or 3 were added from those which were built during Obasanjo's time. But none of the subsequent governments can maintain this. And then NEPA itself. How much of Kainji are we realizing? Of Shiroro, of Jebba? What happened to the feasibility study on Mambila? What happened to the thermal stations in the south and the southeast? Because of indiscipline and corruption, even the infrastructure bill could not be maintained. Not talk of adding one or more ones. So the bottom line is indiscipline and corruption. If we want to get it right in this country, we may as well go back to why.
Real why? War against indiscipline. You're right, sir. This takes me to some school of thought saying, even those of us Nigerians that have the followership, we also have a fault that we don't ask our leaders questions. We don't question them. We don't ask them the budget that has been released to this particular ministry or parastatal or agency. How well have you executed the budget? Checks and balances that most Nigerians rather keep quiet. We like rocking the boat. How do you react to this?
Yes, well, we have partially discussed this about the institutions, like financial instructions. You talked about even getting to the office in time.
I did.
And closing, but when they have nothing to do, when they are not trusted to do the job, one consultant I use, the actual workers there can do the processes, up to the political decision taken step. Why are they not allowed? If they are not trained, why are they not trained to do it? Of course, we can use a consultant, maybe for external contacts and so on, with this communication, or again, our workers can do it. The important thing is effective supervision as a result of personal and professional integrity. Now, once Nigerians working under them, they found out, yes, the boss knows his onions, he knows his job. He has gone through the mill, and he doesn't take nonsense. I assure you, they will fall in line. I will always blame the leadership. It's the leadership. You are saying that, okay, somebody who becomes a local government chairman, they know him in the locality.
Yeah.
He is living in rented quarters. Maybe he has a motorcycle or one very, very old jalopy. You put him there, in 18 months, he would have a house, maybe married another wife.
And then 2-3 cars.
2 or 3 cars, you know. He takes away his children from the public school. Maybe he sends them to Ghana or somewhere. The immediate people around him will not ask questions because maybe they benefit. So it is the system, you know, we have to develop the system. And remember Obama's comment when he went to Ghana and refused to come here. He said developing countries should develop institutions, not individuals. Institutions. If the institutions are strong, leadership wouldn't like to be exposed. Nobody would like to be discussed. Nobody wants to have a stigma, a family stigma. That's why your dad has been jailed for stealing public funds. That's the end of the family.
Very true.
But it's no longer a shame to be caught red-handed stealing.
I tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been quite enlightening talking with you.
Thank you very much.
We wish you continued success, and we must say you're looking healthy, sir.
Thank you very much.
What is the secret?
I need that compliment very, very badly.
Well, they are sincere compliments, sir. You're looking healthy.
Thank you very much.
Because I recall when I saw you at PTF many years back, and the gentleman Buhari I'm seeing today, you're still looking the same way.
Thank you very much.
Not aging.
I try to do what I can. What I can't, I pray very hard. That's all I can do.
And you don't allow anything to worry you.
Well, if I do it, I know I'm putting myself in trouble. Do your best and work hard and pray hard.
Very true.
I believe in that adage.